Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm at the Tom Rose School in Missouri. Now, as a lot of you may already know, this is where my dog training career started. I was a professional and master student here and eventually became an assistant instructor. About 7 years ago, Tom and I put together a series of videos to help teach people how to train their dogs, and we're going to show some of those to you today. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Another trick that we use in dog training is what's called leash pressure work. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to teach the dog to go with the pressure on the leash. Now, if you do this exercise, some of the proofing exercises in some of our other videos with the stay command, where you apply a little pressure, the dog maintains a position, you mark and reward, you can no longer do that because right now, in this particular exercise, I'm going to teach the dog to go with the leash, to go with the pressure on the leash. And this is something that I introduce to dogs usually around 5 months or so of age. And I do this by simply pulling in a straight line. What's going to happen first is your dog's going to have what's called a classical opposition reflex. You pull one way, the dog hunker backs the other way. We see it all the time with people where they're walking their dog down on a leash for the first time, and the dog hunkers down and pushes back as they try to pull the dog forward. So that's the classical opposition reflex. And we're going to teach the dog to go with the leash. So all I'm going to do, and this dog has been trained on this, so he's going to go rather quickly, but I'm going to pull pressure. I'm going to pull until he decides to go with it. Once he goes with it, the pressure comes off, and I mark and reward. Yes. 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 And what's really nice about this, once the dog understands it, I can utilize it to teach other behaviors. So for this particular dog, I taught him to walk backwards with this. Little pressure back. Yes. And you see how he quickly walks back. So I'm not giving him any commands. And now he's at the point where he knows a little bit of pressure. Yes. It means to move backwards or to move with it. And this is a really useful tool if you have a dog that's not food motivated to get them into particular positions that you want, whether it be heel position, the front position, it doesn't matter. We can use the pressure. So I can guide him. Yes. With the leash, once again, to get him into the positions that I want. And this is, once again, just that physical cue that's going to help the dog get into the positions. And you see, I didn't give any commands. I simply guided the dog with the leash. And then once the dog understands that every time I pull this way and I guide him, now I can put the command on a verbal cue. So, yes. So if I have him in front of me and I take the leash, now I want him to come into the front, I can say, come. Yes. Once he's in position, I mark and reward. Same thing if I want him to go into the heel position. Yes. And this is, again, what you utilize, climb, to get your dog to go into different positions. And it's also a good tool if your dog's not food motivated. Now, this dog is food motivated. So what I could also do, free, is I can get the dog in a position and then simply guide him with the food. Yes. Heel. So guiding him around in position. Climb. Yes. This next training exercise is called random sits and downs. And the purpose of this exercise, you don't want to start this really until the dog is starting to get a better understanding of sits and downs. And for this particular exercise, I'm going to use my non-reinforcement marker. So I'm not going to correct him for mistakes at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a command. The moment he gets into the position that I'm asking for, I'm going to release him and give him a reward. So it's very similar to what we did earlier with the climb commands, is once he gets in the position, he gets released. So what the dog learns is the faster I get into the sit, faster I get into the down, the faster I get released, and I get to access my reward. So here's a quick demonstration of it. I'm going to show you with this dog right here, and then we're going to show you a few other examples. Free. Down. Free. Patchy. Sit. Free. Down. Free. Patchy. Down. Free. Sit. Free. Down. Free. sit, free, sit, free, down, free, climb. So once again, a really fun exercise, and it teaches the dog that they can do the positions from wherever they are, and it speeds up those positions. Okay, this exercise we call the send out. It's going to teach the dog to follow your hand, and basically we want the dog to run out, and what they're doing is they're searching for some sort of reward or something that you're directing them to. What we initially start off with is we simply put food on a platform, and we send the dog to that food. When the dog progresses, then we start getting a little bit more control of the dog, and we'll be able to start sending them out. So here's a few examples. Run. Yes. Patchy. Good boy. Run. Yes. Good boy, buddy. Run. Yes. Free. Good boy. Run. Free. Good boy, buddy. All right. Good. This next exercise is called the backwards follow exercise, and it really helps teach also the sit front position. Now, the sit front position, you can have it as precise as you want it to be. So it's really up to you. We like to have the dog come in as straight as possible and as close to us as possible without touching us. So once again, this is completely up to you. If you have your dog just come in and you're okay with the dog being a little off to the side or whatever, and it doesn't matter to you, then that's fine. Don't expect it. For this particular example, I'm going to try and make the dog come in completely straight. So what I do when the dog's not in the position that I desire, I'm simply going to recommand and walk backwards again and give the dog the opportunity to sit correctly. Then at that point, I'll mark and feed. So he's actively trying, so I'm not going to correct him if he's a little crooked. I'm just going to recommand, do the behavior again, and then I'm going to mark and reward when he does it the right way. I also mark and reward as he's following me. So you'll see I want him to be nice and close to me the whole time, and I'm going to mark, feed, and I'm going to make it a fun exercise for it. The dog should have a good time with this exercise. It is a fun one. Come. Yes. You also notice when I feed center line because that's where I want the dog to be when I'm walking. Yes. And I say yes and feed. And I'm feeding really close too. I'm not feeding way out here. I'm feeding the dog right next to me. So then when I come in and I stop, see how he's crooked? I just walk backwards. Yes, deliver. Yes, deliver. Come. Recommand, walk backwards some more. Yes. So this becomes, once again, a really fun exercise. The dog should like it and have fun with it. Come. Yes. Heel. And this is going to help when you start doing your recalls or calling the dog to you. Sit. Come. And at the beginning, I'm going to walk backwards just to help him out. Yes. Climb. And doing these little things, the little body movements and stuff, is helping the dog in the early stages. The more you do it, the less you're going to need to actually give him that physical guidance. But at the very beginning, I say come, he starts coming to me. I'm going to walk backwards a little bit to show him that picture, and then I'm going to mark and reward that behavior. Another one of the questions that we often get here at the Tom Rose School is how to teach a dog to go in and out of the crate willingly and on command. A lot of people end up getting separation anxiety, where the dog goes in the crate, they start whining, screaming, barking, making all kinds of noise. Because what happens is the owner will put the dog into the crate and then leave for work for 8 hours. And the dog learns that when they go in the crate, they're going to be away from them for a long, extended amount of time. So what we want to actually do is we actually want to make this a training exercise and make it fun for the dog. If it's fun for the dog, they're going to learn it faster, and it's going to be a positive experience. So what I first do to teach my dog a crate command is I simply show them a piece of food that they want. Once they see the piece of food, I'm going to throw it into the crate. This is going to be my physical cue or my physical guidance that's going to help the dog into the crate. Once he goes in, he's going to be able to access his reward. Then I'm going to give him his release marker, and he's going to be able to come out and access another reward. So this is going to be a fun exercise, and you'll see what's going to happen is he's going to start going into the crate without even me throwing the food in there and without any command. He's going to go in there because he knows that by going in the crate, it predicts a reward. Break. Free. See, he even went in there before I threw it. Free. So now that I have the physical cue, the dog understands, free, to go in and out of the crate. Now I'm going to say the command, and then I'm going to throw the food. Crate. See, once again, it's predictive. He hears the word crate. Crate. And then I throw it in. Yes. And now I'm actually going to reward that behavior for just willingly going into the crate. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to start building duration in the crate, and I'm going to get the dog, once again, to happily and willingly stay in there. So he's staying in there, just like any of the other stay exercises. I'm going to walk away. Yes. Come back, deliver a reward. So he's learning just by staying in the crate, even with the door open. Yes. I'm going to come back and deliver a reward. Now when he's doing well, and I want him to access the reward, I say free. He could jump out and now access the reward. Sit. Once again, I say crate, then I throw the food. Crate. And you see he's starting to anticipate. No, crate. Yes. Free. He's starting to anticipate that I'm going to throw the food in the crate. Sit. Crate. You do enough reps of this, eventually you will say crate, and the dog will willingly run into the crate on command. Now, the next thing I do to build the confidence and build the dog being comfortable in the crate is I will close the door on him. Yes. Then I deliver a reward. Close the door. Yes. 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 And now, he actually knows that he can come out of here whenever he wants. Free. It's about him willingly, crate, willingly staying in it and doing that by not saying, hey, I'm going to close you in here and keep you in here forever. So then what I would do is I would start building more distance. And if I want at this point, I can start closing it. So I'll close it. I'll walk away. I'll go around the corner. No. Once I get around the corner, I'll mark and come back and reward. So I go around the corner. You can't see me? Yes. Then I go back and I deliver a reward. And you can do this with the door open as well. If he goes to come out, no. Crate. Yes. Now I waited till I actually had both his paws inside the crate and not hanging out, touching the ground. I'd go around the corner. Yes. Come back. Deliver a reward. Close the door. Yes. Deliver a reward. And this also helps when you have the dog that when you go to open the crate, they're just trying to rush out. This is going to help with that. And it's going to make the dog more confident in the position. Free. Crate. See, he still doesn't fully know it, so I say crate and then throw. Yes. Do this and you're going to have a lot more success, and your dog is going to willingly go in and out of the crate and do it with a positive attitude. The next exercise is called finishes. So it's going to teach the dog to go from the sit front position to the heel position. So there's two different types of finishes that we utilize. One is going to be your flip finish. The other one's called your bye finish. So for the flip finish, I use the command heel, the same command that I use to walk with the dog. And for my bye finish, I use the command bye. You can use whatever words you like, really doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're consistent with that word. So for the flip finish, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give after the dog understands the physical guidance, then I'll put it to verbal cue. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the dog in the sit front position. I'm going to use my hand to lure the dog, my left hand. I'm going to step back with my left leg, guide the dog around, back in, and then I'm going to come back and straight. Once the dog is straight in proper heel position, I'm going to mark and reward. Proper heel position is the balls of the dog's feet or I'm sorry, the balls of my feet align with the dog's feet. Patchy. So I'm going to have him come into the sit front. Yes. Yes. So notice I'm not giving any commands at this point. I'm just showing the dog what I want. Yes. Once he's in that position, I mark and feed. Yes. For the by finish, I'm going to step back with my right leg. And this teaches the dog to stay close to your body. Because at first they're going to be a little wide, and this just kind of helps with that. As the dog becomes better and more fluent at it, I'm going to stop moving my leg. If I can just guide the dog out and back in. Same with the by finish. Once they get a little better at it and they understand it more, I could take away the leg movement. Betchy. Yes. And then, climb. After the dog understands it with the physical cue, then I'm going to put on verbal cue. Come. Heel. Yes. Come. By. Yes. Yes. Climb. And if you notice on that last one, when he came around, I wasn't satisfied with his position. He was a little bit off. So I just moved forward. I gave him the opportunity to reposition. Once he's in the correct position, or the position I wanted, then I marked and rewarded. And this is a really good exercise to teach your flip finish and your by finish. Okay, so this is a really quick version of focus healing. There's a lot to it, and there's a lot of detail to really getting the dog to understand their head position, body position, where they're supposed to move and how they're supposed to move. So it takes a long time. This is one that is definitely not something that you want to rush. And it depends on how detailed you want it. So if you're doing competitive type healing, it's going to take much longer. If you just want your dog to walk on a loose leash, all this is going to be doing is reinforcing what we did earlier as far as the attention getter. So when the dog is walking next to you, mark, feed, mark, feed, mark, feed, reinforcing that behavior, getting the dog to consistently want to do it. When I'm teaching a dog focused healing, I do not correct the dog in the heel position. I want this position to be a really fun, a really positive position. So at the very beginning, I'm going to mark, feed, constantly rewarding the dog for doing the behavior that I want. And then as he progresses, I'm going to start delaying the rewards, but I'll also give him some feedback at the beginning. So if I'm using my marker, yes, I have to deliver a reward. But if I'm using verbal praise to give the dog feedback without releasing them from position or giving them a reward, I might do that in the beginning. So I'll say, good boy, good job. Let him know he's doing good without having to give him a reward. So what we're going to do is we start with the backwards follow exercise. Once a dog is following properly, I'm going to guide him over into the heel position. Once he's there, I'm going to turn around, and then I'm going to start walking in the heel position. So at first, we want to get the dog confident, looking up, paying attention to us, and trusting us. So if they can walk forward with you in front of them, looking up at you, now the dog is confident, he understands how to do that, and he trusts you. Then we're going to transition to move him over to the side, and I'm going to start with short sessions and build on it. Depending on how you feed the dog, when he's in that position, it's going to depend on where his body is. So where the head goes, the body follows. If my reward is way out here, my dog's butt is going to end up curving in backwards. If my reward comes in this way, or if I have my reward over here, the dog's butt's going to come outward because its head's going to be reaching for the reward. So when I deliver a reward, I want it to be as straight as possible to keep my dog straight. So I'm going to start with the backwards follow exercise. Come. So once he understands this and he's walking looking up, I'm going to guide him to the side, then turn around. Yes. And then if he maintains that position, I'm going to mark and reward. Or I can tell him, good boy, good job, giving him feedback without releasing him. If he's doing really good, free. And then I'm going to let him jump up, access the reward, and have fun. Petchy. Yes. Yes. Heel. Yes. Climb. You may have also noticed that when I stopped, he would sit. A real easy way to teach this, if you want your dog to sit every time you stop, is after he knows the sit command, you say sit, he'll sit. Then all you simply do is have him sit every single time you stop. And just like anything else, it becomes predictive. He's like, oh, I'm stopping. They're going to tell me to sit. Oh, I might as well sit anyways. And then I would just mark and reward that behavior. So you do it enough times, the dog predicts it, and they do it on their own. And then you just mark and reward. It's really simple. So this exercise is called doodling. And the purpose of this exercise is to make sure that the dog really understands the sit front position and really understands the heel position. So after your dog already has a good understanding of the sit front and the heel position, we're going to teach the dog these positions from multiple locations. So I'll put him in one position, I'll move to another position, I'll call him into heel, or I'll call him into the sit front position. And at the very beginning, I'm going to help him with luring. So I'm going to say the command, then I'm going to lure him in position. Once he's in position, mark feed. As he gets a little bit better, I can start removing the actual help with the luring and just doing it with him getting in position, marking and feeding. Patchy. So first I'm going to guide him over into heel position. Yes. Sit. Yes. Heel. Yes. Sit. Come. Yes. Bye. Sit. Heel. Yes. Sit. Come. Yes. Sit. Heel. Yes. Come. Yes. Climb. Yes. So this is really going to help your dog understand that sit front position and that heel position.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And as always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one.